Okay, hello everyone. I am coming to you here from my deck. I am at Harrison Hot Springs today on a little getaway with my husband for celebrating our 11-year wedding anniversary. So anyway, I just thought I would do a little painting while I'm here. He's working. So I've set up a couple of little exercises that we can do together. And I hope that this is you can see it, and there's a bit of noise. Looks like, or sounds like someone just turned on a lawnmower. I'll speak loudly. Okay, so this first exercise is all about color mixing. And so what I'll have you guys do, I'm gonna link a photo of this diagram today, but what I'd like you guys to do is print a copy of it or copy it out yourself. Essentially what you need is a circle, and then you gotta divide your circle into thirds, and then divide those thirds yet again. And I'll explain it as I go, but the purpose of this is to learn how to mix basic colors. So some of you may know this already from your paint classes, other of you are just beginning. And one other life hack, I just realized, this is a tin from my office. Someone brought us chocolates at Christmas, and probably a lot of you have these. They're perfect for a paint because you can put the lid on it and it'll keep your paints from drying out. So that's something that you can try. So when we start off today, we're just gonna learn how to mix some basic colors, okay? So with this diagram, the way that it works is, this is a color wheel. So we have our primary colors, we have red, yellow, and blue. And if we take red and blue, half and half, and that's why the hashed areas are half and half, I'd like you to mix 50% red, 50% blue, you'll make that color. This other hashed area, 50% red and yellow, you'll get orange. And then 50% blue and yellow, you'll get green. And then to either side, you're gonna do a different ratio. So if it's closer to the blue, you're gonna do 2/3 blue, 1/3 yellow. Closer to the yellow, 2/3 yellow, 1/3 blue, and so on. I hope you can hear me, but if you can't, that's okay. I'm just gonna start painting the sections in now. So I'm gonna start by getting a bit of my red paint. So the red paint I'm using today is quinacridone red. It's a crimson red, or pardon me, quinacridone crimson. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just fill this in here. And I'm doing this just with pure paint. I'm not diluting it, although my brush had a bit of water on it. So that makes it a bit easier. Okay, so this part's pretty boring. You're just gonna watch me painting it in. Some people are asking before what brushes. So this is the Legato series from Opus. I couldn't remember the name before, and I have them in all different sizes. This is a number 4 that I'm using, if someone out there wants to use the exact same. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my yellow, which is Hansa yellow, and I'm just gonna, as I'm painting this, talk to you about paints. Somebody today asked on the chat which ones to buy, and I recommend buying the Golden brand because they're really high quality, and I also think that the artist quality, but the paint that does not have anything in it that thins the paint to make it dry slower is what you want, because you want to be able to control that. So it kind of came in vogue not that long ago to have paints that are acrylic paints that dry slower, especially for people that are used to painting with oil paint. They'll find that to be an easier transition. But I actually have come to love the fact that acrylics dry fast if I want them to, because it allows me to paint over things if I make a mistake, and it also allows me to do layers. And the other thing it allows you to do is glazing. So we'll talk about glazing later. So I filled in those sections. So now I'm gonna do my 50-50. I've got blue and red, blue on my brush, so I'm gonna start blue and red. So I'm simply just gonna take a blob of blue and mix it with a blob of red of the approximate same amount and mix on my palette. And I'll show you, it looks like that. So you can see there's a puddle of purple paint. So I'm gonna put that here. Now, depending on the colors that you buy, your primary colors will determine what colors you can make. So for those of you on a budget, just buy these 3 with white. That's all you need. But if you want to do some more sophisticated stuff, then you're going to have to get all the colors I recommend. Okay, so with the purple the way it is now, I'm gonna just add a bit more red to that, which will make me a color between this purple and that red. So I'm gonna take my puddle of paint again, like I just had here, and I'm gonna add red to that. And you can see it's making kind of more of a maroon color, okay? There we go. So I'm gonna pick that up. And the purpose of doing this is to give you more confidence when you're trying to make a color, to kind of know what to do to make it, okay? So I'm gonna clean my brush. And now I'm gonna make this color, which is 2/3 blue, 1/3 red. So I'm gonna mix that now. And the other thing you can do if you want is you can try doing these color wheels with your phthalo blue green shade, subbing that out for the ultramarine. And you can also sub out your yellow. So instead of doing Hansa yellow, which is kind of a cool yellow, you could sub it out for cadmium yellow, and you'll find that the colors you create are slightly different. Or you could use quinacridone azo gold as your yellow, and that would also be kind of cool. Okay, so I'm gonna do my 50-50 red and yellow now. Many of you will remember that this makes orange. Okay. And then to that mixture, I'm gonna add a bit more red to get this color in between. So you can see here that if you want to get a true red with quinacridone crimson, you have to add a bit of yellow to it. But as a bare color, it's got a more pink hue to it. Okay, now I'm going to add yellow, and I'm going to make my other in-between color between my yellow and my orange. Okay, I'm going to clean my brush. Now we'll do the greens. Okay, so again, 50-50 blue and yellow. There we go. Oh, the lawnmower's finally left. Just as I'm coming to the end of this video. That's okay. All right, so green, and then to that I'm going to add some yellow to part of it. So one tip is you take the color you had and just take a section of it and add the yellow, and take a section of it and add the blue. That way you don't have to start over again. So that's going to be our lighter shade there. So again, the purpose of this is to give you a reference for when you're trying to mix colors on your own, you have kind of an idea of how to do it. And you know, you could imagine that there'd be gradations of color between these, but these are just a kind of a starting point. So again, I'm going to mix some blue into my puddle of paint there. And I'm going to just do that last one. So that is our video on color mixing. Hope it was helpful. And the next video is going to be on tonal values, so stay tuned for that.